we still have the best line of the debate, the biggest fail, biggest controversy, et cetera, coming up. We're going to do that for the members in a little bit. We're going to do one more segment here for all of you guys, and that is the worst line of the debate, because I really, really want you guys to hear this, because I think it was really extraordinary. Michael mentioned it, alluded to it a little bit earlier. But if you want to watch all the coverage tonight, tytnetwork.com/join to become a member. And then if you're a member, you can watch this. This stream is running in parallel, so you can start to go now over there at tytnetwork.com/members-live. Okay, so we're going to go to video number 3 here, guys. Now, normally when we pick worst line of the debate, we are referring to a line that didn't work and that strategically was a flop. In this case, I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm calling this the worst line of the debate because of its implications and how horrific it was. So let me show it to you and then we'll discuss.
And then the 2 boxes of emails and other things last week that were taken from an office and are now missing. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it, but if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it. And we're going to have a special prosecutor. When I speak, I go out and speak. The people of this country are furious. In my opinion, the people that have been long-term workers at the FBI are furious. There has never been anything like this, where emails and you get a subpoena. You get a subpoena, and after getting the subpoena, you delete 33,000 emails. And then you acid wash them, or bleach them, as you would say, a very expensive process. So we're going to get a special prosecutor, and we're going to look into it, because you know what? People have been, their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done. And it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, you know, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Okay, I think that is very dangerous talk. That is, and I'm not, by the way, referring to the acid wash, whatever the hell that is, or the, okay, those are not why that was the worst line of the debate. In all seriousness, saying that you're going to arrest the person you're running against,
yeah,
that's third world stuff.
That's third world stuff.
And so he's going to turn this country into a banana republic. He's talking about arresting all the people he disagrees with. He talked about it in connection to the press before. I mean, he's already putting them in cages. He's talking about the limitations of the press. Now he's outwardly saying in the middle of a national debate, if I win, I'm going to arrest my opponent. But we already had a prosecutor looking into it. We had a head of the FBI who was, by the way, a Republican. Yes, it's under Obama. But don't forget that the head of the FBI, James Comey, was the #2 guy under John Ashcroft. He's a deep right-wing Republican. Now, you might disagree with his decision, but that's not how we do things in this country, where, well, I didn't like your decision, so I'm going to make it political and arrest my opponent. I think that that's why if Trump wins, it could be devastating for the country. We're not having a normal conversation about this establishment Republican versus that establishment Democrat. We're having a conversation where the guy doesn't understand what the country's about.
The evil that gets done. The thing is that he's such a maniac, people are noticing it. Like, you noticed it. You noticed it. You're going to call it out. People will call it out. You know what people don't notice is Section 1021 of the NDAA Act, which President Obama signed, which puts us back to the 1100s. Right now, the government have the military take you, Cenk Uygur, say you're a terrorist, put you in jail forever, never charge you with a crime. Right now, that's our Democratic president. That's the fucking banana republic we live in right now. That the government can throw you in jail right now. And if Barack Obama said he could do that. Right now, he's used I'm just saying, that's all they have to do, Cenk, is say you're a terrorist, and you're done. You have no more rights.
So look, this began during Guantanamo. Okay, so Bush administration comes in and says, we're going to create an island here where it's lawless. There's no habeas corpus. The Supreme Court eventually knocked that down. But basically, where we don't want any laws, we don't want any accountability. And somebody had to put a stop to it, but no one did. And so, Jimmy, I share your frustration on how the president goes after whistleblowers. I share your frustration that he didn't put a more effective end to Guantanamo. All of that, okay? And so the establishment is going towards this direction where they get to have ultimate power. That is why we fight against them. But President Obama would not have arrested Mitt Romney in a million years. President Obama probably wouldn't have arrested Mitt Romney if he actually committed a crime. If he actually committed a serious crime. In fact, he didn't arrest Bush or Cheney or Rumsfeld, right? When there were serious allegations of real crimes and war crimes that they did. That was the establishment protecting itself, which is sickening, which we've talked about. This is different. We don't live in a democracy anymore. If you don't like me, I put you in jail. That's different. It's a different level of horror.
Yeah, it is. Yes, but the things that are actually happening right now, I think that actually are that's just some jagoff screaming, right?
It's not some jagoff. He's the Republican nominee for president.
Yes,
and if we're not careful, if we don't all stand together and do the right thing, he'll be the president. And if he hadn't proven himself to be such a colossal, unbelievable jagoff, he might well be president. But he's incapable because it turns out, mercifully, he's a crazy narcissist and would appear an abuser of women.
So, I mean, I hope that this guy does not win and somehow get real power. If he has real power with a mindset like that, I fear for which direction we go in. Because if rules and laws still exist, then we could fight within them. If they don't exist anymore, then we have chaos.